conversation about why you feel stuck, why you feel like you can't move forward, why you feel like things are not going the way you wanted them to go, perhaps why you don't feel like you're in the career you want to be in, the living in the home you want to live in, and doing the things that you want to do, spending your time the way that you want to spend it. Have you thought about why that is? And if you haven't, we're going to talk about it today. Now, I'm going to tell you, this might be a little controversial for you, so you might get mad at me, but I'm about to tell you the truth, okay? So, I'm going to tell you this conversation comes from a discussion that I had with my husband this morning. So, this morning, he was watching TV in the bedroom, and as he was watching TV, he's going through all of these channels. And we have a TV that's maybe 3 years old in the bedroom, and we recently stopped our cable. So we haven't had cable TV in about 6 months. I live in Missouri. We have Spectrum as our cable company, and we've had cable for, I know, for 10, 15 years. We've always had cable TV because that's how you're able to watch the local channels. And if you want to watch some of the other channels, it's on cable TV. And so about 6 months ago, maybe, I stopped our cable TV because I realized that on the TVs that we have purchased, they have a lot of the same channels for free on the TV. Now, you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with what you're talking about? Okay, so let me tell you. A lot of y'all so stuck on what you've been doing that you haven't stopped to see what is new, what's available, what's been updated. And some of us, we need to update our lives. We're stuck because we're doing what's been comfortable for us and what has always worked in the past, and we won't update our life. And just like we were able to save $239, because that's how much we were paying for our cable and internet, we were able to save $239 per month if you multiply that times 12, all because we updated the TVs in our home. So we updated our TV in the bedroom and in the living room, and the new TVs have the capability to give you all of these channels. The channel that the Fox Soul channel, the ABC, NBC, C, all of those are standard channels, along with about 75 other channels. How many of y'all knew that? If you have a Roku TV, the Roku gives you all of the same channels that you're paying for with cable. But if we never check to see, you would never know that because you're just continuing with things the way that they were. And so I want to encourage us, let's stop being stuck in what we've been doing, how we've been doing it, how we've been operating, and let's look to see what's out there. Let's talk about why we're stuck in these jobs. We are stuck in these jobs because someone taught us, and a lot of times this was our family who loves us to death and taught us as best they knew. They taught us to go to work, to get a good job, to stay there for 30 years, and to retire. That's what we were taught, and that worked back then. But now in 2024, we understand that you can make money in different ways. But I gotta put it back on you. Have you explored to see? Have you done anything to try to do something different than the way you were taught? No, because it takes you outside of your comfort zone. It requires you to continue to do the things that you've been doing the way you've been doing it in your comfort zone. But there are so many ways to make money. Some of y'all looking at me right now, you could be making money doing the same thing that I'm doing. Some of you all refer services. You can make money through affiliate marketing referring services. This does not require you to make anything or to create anything. You can make money. Some of you are drop shipping was not a thing when your mom was in school, when your mom was raising you. The internet was not a thing. So we can make money in different ways. I just got off a call with someone in Canada, and we're talking about how we can partner and work together. She's in Canada. I'm in Missouri. The call was 30 minutes. You have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone and explore and adapt to the new ways that exist in the world. You can create content. You can create an ebook. You can create a digital course. You can do a live event. You can do public speaking. You can sell t-shirts. You can sell mugs, whatever it is. But the problem is You were taught to go to school, get a good job, stay there for 30 years. You're there. It's not serving you. It's not getting you what it is that you need, but you're staying there because you don't know what else to do. But you also won't explore anything different because what you're doing is paying your bills and the job is the number one priority. Well, what about your self satisfaction? What about your health? What about your own well being? What about the impact that you want to have? What about all these other things? And I just want us to really think about that. We continue to do things the way we've been doing them because that's what's comfortable for us. And if we ask you to do something different or you see other people doing something different, then we use this fear of what if it doesn't work? Well, what you're doing already isn't working. So what's the difference? What you're doing isn't working. So let's try something different. There are too many ways. We got to update, we have to adapt, and we got to be willing to upgrade. Too many of us are still trying to put a floppy disk into computers. Floppy disk no longer work in computers. What are we doing? Why do you still even have the floppy disk? Why is the floppy disk still available? You need to throw the floppy disk away. We need to unlearn some things and learn some new things. Some of you all only think that you can make $100,000, $200,000 in a year because that's the only time frame that you've known to be able to make money. I am here to tell you it does not take a year. Some of us think that it takes 5 years. You got to have a 5-year plan. How about you have a 1-year plan? How about you have a 30-day plan? How about you have a 60-day plan or a 90-day plan? Because you were taught to know and to dream in the terms of 5 years. But now we're in 2024 and you're still operating off of principles that were taught to you in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, even though technology has evolved. We have artificial intelligence now. We have electric cars, but you're still operating as if we are still in horse and buggy. And so I really want us to really think about what are the changes that we need to make, and not only just in our life, but in our mindset. Just like some of us are still paying for cable because you've always paid for cable. Some of us are still banking at the same bank, even though that bank does not serve you, even though that bank doesn't let you do the things you need to do, even though that bank won't give you a loan or support you in any way, you keep going to that same bank because that's the bank you've always used. And because it also takes too much time and energy to go and find a new bank. That's because we don't value ourselves. We don't value our time. We don't value our money. And so we would rather use the same bank. I'm just using this as an example so that we can get the understanding of what I'm saying. We will use the same bank, knowing that it won't give us any of its products. It won't loan us money. It won't let us get a credit card. It won't do any of the things we need it to do. It's not open when you need it to be open. It doesn't help you or support you. And you keep putting your money into that bank and knowing that it's not serving you at the level that you need to be served at. And other people are telling you, girl, come on over to Navy Federal. Girl, you should use PNC. Girl, you should try this bank. And you're saying, yeah, I do need to change banks. And that's all you say because it requires you to get out of your comfort zone and to leave that bank and do something different and to form a new relationship. It's the same thing with cable. We keep paying the cable bill every month, even though, hey, we don't even watch TV as much. We consume our TV in a different way. Many of us are consuming TV on our telephone, TV on our computer, TV through live streaming, but we continue to pay the cable bill because we've always paid it. Because it's all you need cable. I want to have good reception. Guess what? Those are no longer problems. My TV don't work if I don't have cable. Did you check? Did you try it out? Or are you just saying that because in 1998 your TV didn't work unless you had cable or the bunny ear antennas? How many of y'all stuck on the bunny ear antennas? How many of y'all still think my TV don't work unless I got the bunny ear antennas? Oh, I'm going to go get the other type of antenna that just stick to the wall. Girl, if you don't update your life and update yourself and update your system and understand that the reason why we continue to stay stuck is because we refuse to move. We refuse to adapt. We have artificial intelligence now. Even when I talk to people about Chat GPT, which is only one of the forms of artificial intelligence. Oh, girl, I don't use that type of stuff. Well, this is a productivity tool. This is why you're worn out. This is why you're stressed out, because you're trying to create everything from scratch when new technology has been created, but you won't step into the new technology because it will require you to learn something new and to do something a little bit different. We continue to make things hard for ourselves because we like being stuck. We appreciate the stuckness because now we got something to complain about, and we got something that we can talk about that will keep us from doing the thing that we really want to do. It's really a way for us to stay the same. That's all it is. And I know some of y'all don't want to hear this. I know this might not be the message that you thought you were going to get. But I need us to understand that you can unlock new opportunities for yourself. You can get up from tables that no longer respect you or that never respected you for that matter. You can create your own table. You can create income. Stay there and create income. Stop letting people tell you how much money you can make, how many days you can have off, when you can vacation, when you can't. We need to take control of our lives. And we are allowing other people to control our life because we refuse to take the time that we need to design the life that we want, to visualize what it is that we want, to understand the person that we need to be, and to set up the values that we will operate through. We refuse to take the time to do it. We're too busy. I got to go to work. I got to pick the kids up. I got to go to church. I got to go over here and help so and so. I got to do this. How about you got to take control of your life? You're not in control of your life. Somebody tells you what time you need to get up. That's based on what time you need to be at work. Somebody tells you what time you're going to lunch. That's based on when your lunch is at work. Somebody tells you what content you're going to teach. That's based on the curriculum that you got there at that school. Somebody tells you which way you're going home is based on what traffic is out because you got a certain time to be there. Somebody tells you what grocery store you're going to shop at because it's within the budget that they've given you. Somebody tells you what type of house you're going to buy because they've told you how much they're going to pay you over a 12-month period, and you've built your life around it. You need to take back control of your life. And so that means that you're going to have to adopt and adapt to a new mindset. You're going to need to get some new people in your life because the people who are in your life are in the same situation you're in. I only take advice from people who are doing more than I am. I don't want advice from people who are trapped in a system, who are stuck, who are complaining, who don't know how to make a change in their life. I'm only taking advice from people who are living the life of their dreams. I just did a coffee chat with a lady. Absolutely amazing. Again, living the life of her dreams. She's doing the things that she wants to do. And your dream is your dream. My dream is my dream. I'm not saying it has to be my dream, whatever your dream is. Her dream was that she wanted to pack up and she wanted to move to Canada. She did just that. She packed up, she moved to Canada. She's traveling 12 to 14 times a year. She's working in her own business, thriving, supporting women, doing the things that she loves to do. That's what it's about. She's living life on her terms. Too many of us are making excuses. We're saying, well, I'm going through menopause. Guess what? Menopause is going to be there. Life still got to exist. Go to the doctor, get treated for the things that you need to get treated for menopause. But we won't even go to the doctor to check on that. We just want to complain. Well, I'm foggy because I'm in perimenopause. Well, I ain't getting no sleep last night because I was sweating all night. You can go to get treatment for that. But it's easier to complain about it than to go get the blood work. Let the doctors support you. Let the health officials support you. They've worked with thousands upon millions of women who have gone through this same situation. And there are ways to relieve it, but we don't want that. We want to continue to complain. We have to determine that we're going to take control of our lives. The reason why we stay stuck is because we will not upgrade our life. Do you know what an upgraded life feels like for you? For you, not for me, for you. What are the standards that you're going to set for yourself? Do you have standards for yourself? What do those standards look like? Because if we stay stuck in doing the things that we did in the 1990s and the 2000s, we're in 2024. Things look different now. Let me tell you some of the standards that I have, and I write these down so that I can always remember what my standard is. And so, first of all, people will not treat me any type of way. You won't treat me any type of way. That's a standard that I have. You must treat me at least the way that I treat myself, if not better. One of my standards is that I'm not settling. If I say this is what I want, this is what I'm getting. If I say this is what I desire, this is what I get to have. I may not get to have it today, but it will be delivered to my doorstep because that's what I've decided. I'm not living a life of quiet desperation. Too many of us have settled for that. You got to understand, what are your standards. When I go to hotels, I have a standard. I don't stay at anything less than 4 stars. I want everything that I stay in to be at the level of my home or better. You will not catch me at a Sleep Inn or a La Quinta Inn or any of those, because those don't meet my standards. And that's because you have to know how you're going to upgrade your life. We got to stop feeling stuck. What are some of my other standards? When I use Uber, I use Uber X. You don't have to drive everywhere now. There are people who right now they still feel like every time they go out of town, they got to get a rental car. That's because you haven't upgraded your standards. You don't have to drive anymore. That car is going to sit out there in that parking lot, and you're going to leave 2 times when you can get dropped off at the door. When I just went to the game in Tennessee to see LeBron, we got dropped off at the door, walked straight in. You got to go park that car, find a parking space, pay $35, and then try to navigate your way out of there and do all of that. I was back at the hotel relaxing while everybody else was still trying to get their car out. So, think about, what are your standards? I love private cars. When I'm going to a speaking engagement, get me a private car. I'm not looking for a Uber. I need them to have a sign with my name out so that I know, so that they can find me and I don't have to try to find them. I have a standard for people. I want to be around people who are also high achieving, who are intellectual. I don't want to have to dumb myself down, and I don't want you to have to feel like you are less than when you're around me. So I make sure that I want to be connected with people who are at my standard or higher. That doesn't mean that I'm going to mistreat anybody who's not at that standard. But just like when I just did that coffee chat, that was with someone who was at my standard or higher. That means that they're not settling. They're not giving in. They've designed their life. They're not living by accident. Everything is intentional. Time is a resource that is not replenishable. I'm not wasting any of it. Everything that I do is intentional. And I also intentionally bring fun, joy, and pleasure into my life. What else? Natural sunlight is a non-negotiable for me. I'm going to have natural sunlight. These windows are going to be open. So that means that I can't live anywhere where people are going to be breaking in and stealing stuff. I want natural sunlight flowing into my house. I want a nice living space. I want to be able to walk around and say, "Ooh, this is nice. Ooh, I like this." I want to be comfortable. I want it to be clean. I want it to smell good. So that means that I have to do some things. For my car, I want a nice car. You can say what you want to say. I want a nice car, not for you and not for you to think, "Oh, she got money." No, I want to get in and I want to feel like, "Oh, this is nice. These seats hug me. It has good acceleration. It has all of the gadgets that I need. When I turn my air on, it don't take 6 minutes for the air to get cold. When I turn my heat on, it don't take 6 minutes for the heat to come on. I am not going outside to start no car in the wintertime. I need something where I can press a button and it starts from in my house. I'm in the house, the car started outside. I'm not going outside to start no car up. I'm not going outside to warm no car up. When I get outside, that car needs to be warmed and ready to go. That is a standard, people. So that means that when I go to purchase a car, these are requirements that I need. When I fly, I want comfort class or better. Do not give me basic economy. I'm not sitting all the way in the back of that plane. There are certain things that you should require for yourself. But part of the problem and why we don't have these requirements is when we don't update our system. We're still trying to put a floppy disk into a Mac, and that does not work. We need to update our system. We're still walking around with cable when you don't have to have cable anymore. TV is free. We don't even watch TV on TVs anymore. Many of us get our news from our phones. We get our news from our iPads and things like that. But we keep operating in this old system. I just want us to identify what it is that you really want, and you can get unstuck. I want you to know that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your decisions. I'm going to let that sink in for a moment. That's the truth there. When I upgraded my decisions and started working with bigger dreams, my life upgraded too. And see, some of us, we're so stuck on operating the way we've been operating off the principles that we've had, off of what we understood when we were in college, what our parents taught us. That's fine. That served you then. But now you're in a different space. Those things, you got to add to them. Some of them you got to subtract. And so we have to update ourselves. All of us who are not using the artificial intelligence, the technology, and for those of us who have not understood yet that relationships are currency, you still banking on the longevity of being in the school system, you still banking on that degree you got. Let me tell you something. That stuff don't mean nothing. So what, you did 25 years in the school system like it was a prison sentence. That don't mean anything in the real world. You can get a job over there at Walmart. How about we leverage the skills that you have? How about we leverage the talents that you possess? I was talking to somebody, she's a great connector. Let's leverage that. There are people who are not great connectors. There are people who are looking for people to connect them to other people. Let's monetize that talent. There are people who are great strategizers. There are people who are great with coming up with business ideas and telling you what you can do in your business to make more money. Let's leverage that. Let's monetize that. You don't have to make money the same way your parents made money. And when you choose to settle for what they said you could make, they are telling you what type of life you're going to live. Some of us won't even explore the options that are available. You won't even unlock the new opportunities. You won't go to a live event. You won't go to network with other people. You won't buy a course. You won't try any of the things that will support you in moving forward. And then when those who buy them, they don't believe that they can do the thing because they are busy listening to people who are living in a different world, who are living a different life. See, I can't listen to the 70-year-old while they give us great wisdom. They didn't work in this time. Many of them are not in tune to the technology that's available. When we say that cars can drive themselves, if you haven't been to Arizona, you might not be in a world where cars drive themselves. But when you go to Arizona, their Ubers and things are driverless. So in Arizona, it's a norm for cars to drive themselves. But in Missouri, it's not a norm for a car to drive itself. I'm just saying. So when you build connections and relationships with other people around the world, when you expand your circle, you create a new understanding about what life is in other places outside of your circle. Y'all, we don't have to be stuck. We don't have to be stuck. We can move forward, but it's going to be uncomfortable. Anytime you grow, it's uncomfortable. But I am here to tell you there have been people who have done it. There are people who are doing it, and you got to get in communion with those people. You have to make a different set of decisions. The quality of your decisions determines the quality of your life. Folks, let's stop doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You keep showing up at that job day in, day out, every single day. You keep showing up. You already know you're going to get the same paycheck. You already know the same bills are due. You already know that everything is going to be the same. Nothing is going to change. Every now and then you'll get a bonus. Every now and then you'll get a cheaper bill. But overall, everything is going to continue to be the same. What are you going to do to disrupt this cycle? What are you going to do to change your life? You have to do something. I can't do it for you. Your spouse cannot do it for you. Your kids cannot do it for you. You have to become the main character on the stage. And that's going to require you to think some different thoughts, to do some different things, and to get around some different people to do something different. I hope this helps. Y'all, I got 2 more days of my going live every day in April. And let me tell y'all in advance, May is going to be the month of me. I want all of us to embrace the idea of May is the month of me. That's where you're going to take care of yourself. You're going to enjoy yourself. You are going to be the star of your show, and I am going to be the star of my show. You're going to do some new things. I'm going to do some new things. We're going to experiment with how amazing our life can be. And I hope that you will be willing to join me as we turn May into the month of me. Y'all better come on and join in with me. But I will be back tomorrow